Howdy, hi. It is Do Your Job Sports college basketball picks and predictions for Wednesday, December 10th, 2025. We are looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, so first things first, got to recap previous day's results. Not the best of showings from me. We have our first losing day in 4 days. I go 3-4, bringing our season record to 140 wins, 107 losses. Since I did lose 4 picks, we add $12 to the giveaway fund, bringing that total to 144. We do add someone to the ban list. That means we took off the University of Wyoming. To be honest, I kind of forgot why I had them on there, and then some people in the Discord had to remind me they went like 9 of 25 from the free throw line, and they missed a cover by like 4 points. So that was the reason they were on there. They have now been saved. Who replaces them? It is Columbia, minus 4.5. You destroyed my hopes for 38 minutes. You then brought my hopes all the way back and forced overtime. And then you just hit me with a car as you still don't come anywhere close to covering 4.5 and you lose outright. So for that, you are on the ban list. There's a chance tomorrow that we will be adding the entirety of the Ivy League for a second time this year. Stay tuned to find out what that's about. All right, so real quick, I'll recap these games, then we'll get on to the 7 picks we got for tomorrow. Our winners, first, we had our best bet of the day. It was Bucknell, minus 1.5. If you watched this basketball game, I apologize. This was probably the worst thing I've ever laid my eyes on ever. Bucknell scored 51 points, and they won by 13. Ryder scored 38 points, shot 34% from the field, 23% from deep, 33% from the free throw line, and they had 15 turnovers. I legitimately think there are probably double-digit high school basketball teams that could win against Ryder, and probably win comfortably. Like you took like IMG Academy, all of those schools they got in Texas, like your St. John Bosco footballs, take their basketball team, put them against Ryder. They'd probably win by a lot. The other winners, we had the over, 157.5 between Illinois and Ohio State. Final score here, Illinois 88, the Buckeyes 80. There was a lot of free throws in this game. Illinois went 29 of 32 from the charity stripe. Buckeyes 46% from the field, 32% from deep. 71% from the charity stripe. They lose the offensive rebound battle. They win the turnover battle. You can't let your opponent shoot 32 free throws. I did not watch any of this game because I figured it was on Peacock or Flow Sports or one of those dumb channels that I am not paying money for. Then finally, we had Indiana minus 14.5. Technically, this game has not ended yet. Indiana is up 102 to 62 with 5 minutes left. This was the definition of belt to ass. Penn State is going to be real bad. All right, now the losers started off not strong with Virginia. Honestly, not looking that good against the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Final score, Virginia 84, Maryland Eastern Shore 60. Eastern Shore shot 46% from the field. 46. If you are Virginia, you have to have more pride to just not make them do that. Like, make them shoot like mid-30s. Or also, how about just win the rebound battle by more than 3? They only had 32 rebounds the entire game. That is disgusting from Virginia. They win by 24. We really never stood a chance of covering this. This next game was disgustingly brutal. South Dakota State took them minus 6.5. They did not play well in the first half. I believe they were down 1 at halftime. But honestly, I was okay with that because they started the game down like 12-2. It was rough. They got ambushed out the gate. They bring it all the way back. They have an 11-point lead with, I want to say, like 9 minutes left. Then they score 4 points in 7.5 minutes. I kept on checking the score, and they were stuck on 64 every single time I checked. I kept on thinking my app just wasn't refreshing, and I was like, no, the time's going down. Ball State's scoring. South Dakota State just not putting the ball in the hoop. They win the game, 68-64. They shoot 46% from the field. They lose the turnover battle. They win the rebound battle. They just didn't score for like 7 minutes. It was ridiculous. Next game, this was a bad bet by me. I should not have given this out. Should have done more research. Howard, North Carolina A&T. I mentioned this one was taking place at Duke's Stadium, Cameron Indoor. This was Howard's third game playing at that stadium this year. I completely forgot they went to Duke's MTE, and they played 2 games against Niagara and Duke. So they were already very comfortable in this arena. I completely forgot about that. That's on me. They win the game 73-69. North Carolina A&T, they tried to do it at the end, but you cannot shoot 4 of 16 from deep and expect to win the game. They won the rebound battle. They tied the turnover battle. You just can't shoot that poop from deep. And then finally, Columbia, -4.5. The Ivy League pains me. Columbia was down damn near 15 points this entire game. They then mount a Herculean comeback in the final 5 minutes to get this thing to overtime. Also, the first half score was 17-30. Columbia won the second half 48-35. They won the offensive rebound battle 14-8. They literally did not play basketball for the first 20 minutes. Anyway, they then get the game to overtime where they lose outright 77-73. I hate this team a lot. All right, that's the recap. Let's get on to the picks for tomorrow. All right, first game we got, it is the ACC versus the MAC. Yes, the UMass is now in the MAC, no longer in the A10. I'm going to take UMass plus 110 on the money line. It is not often you will see basically a pick'em between a school and a Power 4 and then the MAC. This is a neutral site game. These teams, I'm not sure how close they are in distance, but they're in the same state. They're in the same state. So I would imagine they got to be close. Game's taking place at Springfield. Do I think either team will really travel? Probably not. I will take UMass plus 110. This Boston College team is atrocious. They're 5-5 on the year. They really haven't played many good teams at all. They scored just 70 points a game, played a bottom 30 pace, 29% from deep. They also are not good at shooting free throws, 68% from the line this season. The only thing they do decent is defense, and I'm really not even sure how good their defense is because they haven't played anyone, and they play so slow, you're just not going to score many points on them. UMass 6-3 on the year. They have wins, like good quality wins, over Oregon State, Harvard, and Central Connecticut. Those are good. They score 78 points a game, played a top 100 pace, shoot at 46% from the field. The only actually statistical battle they lose is the rebounding. Frank Martin's a good coach. He normally has big guys down low. You got to man up, get the boards. I think Frank Martin gets the job done. Give me UMass plus 110. All right, next game we got. This is going to be a lot like the Indiana-Penn State game today. Purdue, I'll take them minus 18.5. They are coming off of a home blowout loss to Iowa State by 23. They're going to be ready to get after it. Minnesota, they just won their first game of the Big Ten play at home to Indiana, funny enough. Boilermakers, they're going to murder them. Give me Purdue minus points. Minnesota 5-4 on the year. Like I said, their previous game, they won at home to Indiana by 9. All of their road games this year have resulted in losses. The only true road game they played was at Missouri. They lost by 23. Then they had 3 neutral games in a tournament out on the West Coast. They lost to San Fran, Stanford, and Santa Clara. If you can't beat any of those teams on the road, then who are you going to beat? This is year 1 of Nico Medved. He comes over from Colorado State, brings a few of his guys with him, but for the most part, this is a transfer team of guys coming from all over. New team, they struggle shooting the ball, 32% from deep, 67% from the free throw line, and this is their first road game in Big Ten play. Going to Mackey, they're going to get their shit stomped. Purdue, 8-1 on the year. They just got blasted at home. That is the largest loss they've had at home to a non-conference opponent in the history of their program. Veteran team. It's the home opener for Big Ten play. Even with finals coming up, this place is going to be rocking for Minnesota. I will trust them on a bounce back. I like Painter. I like Braden Smith. You have TKR down low. You have Oscar Clough, the transfer from South Dakota or North Dakota, whatever Dakota he came from. Big Dan down low. They shoot the ball. Give me Purdue minus the points. All right, next game we got Delaware hits the road. Therefore, you have to fade them. I will take George Washington minus 21.5. Delaware this year has been awful. George Washington, they've been pretty good. Undefeated at home so far this season. They should be able to hang 90-plus against a bad Delaware defense. Delaware 2-6 on the year, 0-3 straight up on the road. Their only wins were against a D2 school, St. Peter's, and then UNCG. So technically 3-6, but we ain't counting no Division II wins. They only score 69 points a game. They played a bottom 100 pace. One of the worst rebounding teams in the country. This team is very, very small, coming directly off of a road rivalry loss to Delaware State in overtime. Delaware State is also awful. George Washington, 8-2 on the year. Their losses being to Murray State on the road by 1, and then McNeese at home by 6. They score 92 a game, played a top 75 pace, shoot it 51% from the field. Top 100 rebounding team. They have a massive size advantage. Should be a pretty lit home court. George Washington normally gets a good crowd. I will take George Washington minus 21.5. All right, next one, Maine. They do play a basketball game. Normally, I'm very confident in fading them. This one's going to be real greasy. I will take Boston minus 7.5. Do I really love it? No. I'm just constantly betting against Maine because I think they're one of the worst schools in college basketball, period. Boston's coming off of a 6-point road overtime loss to New Hampshire. So take with this what you will. I will bet Boston. It will not be my largest wager of the day. This will be a smaller wager, but I have to fade Maine. Maine is 0-11 on the year. This is their 6th road game in a row. They only score 59 points a game. That is dead last in college basketball. They make 6 3-pointers a game. That is bottom 20, while also being the 5th worst free throw shooting team in the country at 60%. None of their stats are good. They also turn it over 15 times a game. Did I mention they have a bottom 100 rated defense? Did I also mention their head coach is on the banned list? This team is ass. Boston 4-6 on the year. At least they can score. I mean, they put in 76 points a game. They are the slowest paced team in the country. How you do that while scoring 76 a game, I don't know. Oh, wait, yes, I do. They shoot it 50% from the field. They make 10 3-pointers a game at 41% from deep. How are you losing a road game to New Hampshire with the stats I am reading off? That's 5th in the nation, 41% from deep. How are you 4-6? You got 2 slow teams. One can shoot, the other cannot. Give me Boston. I don't love it, but I will lay the 7.5. All right, next game we're looking at, it is a noon tip-off. So you already know we're trying to get some action on it. Only midday game we got. Norfolk State and Baylor. I'm going to take the over, 146.5. So if you're trying to get some lunchtime degeneracy going on, I got you covered. Baylor's actually impressed me so far this year under Scott Drew. Not the best roster he's ever had, but they've been putting up a ton of points on these mid-majors. The only other high-major team Norfolk State has played this year was Arizona, where they gave up 98 points. Do I think they're going to give up 98? Probably not. Could they easily give up 88? Yeah, I think so. Norfolk State 4-6 on the year, recently coming off of a 1-point road loss to JMU. They score 79 a game, played a dead middle pace, and shoot it 48% from the field. The slightly concerning thing, they do not shoot 3-pointers. They just simply do not do that. They are a team that's going to drive to the hoop, try to get to the free throw line. Not sure if that style of play is going to work against a very big Baylor front court, but we'll see what happens. Norfolk State, horrible at rebounding, one of the worst in the country. Baylor should be able to get a ton of second chance points. Baylor 6-2 on the year. Their losses came to Memphis on the road by 7, and then St. John's at a neutral. That game finished 96-81. They score 88 points a game. They've been hanging hella numbers on these mid-majors. They scored 110 against Sacramento State, 91 points on San Diego State, 81 on Creighton, 94 on Tarleton State, and then 86 on UT Rio Grande. Like, yes, this team can score. 146.5 is too low. Give me the over. All right, next game. This one terrifies me, but I'm doubling down. I am putting my balls directly on the table. I'm laying it all out. Give me Princeton -2.5. This is my favorite bet of the day. If the Ivy League is going to bounce back and make themselves known that they are not one of the worst conferences in the entire world, they're going to have to do it right now. Give me Princeton laying only 2.5 points to Merrimack at home. Preseason, I can guarantee you that this spread prediction was probably Princeton minus double digits, like 12, 13. They're not playing well currently, but they are 3-0 at home. You just got to win this game by 3 points. I mean, preferably win this game by 20 so I don't have to sweat it out. But all we need is 3. Merrimack 5-6 on the year, currently riding a 3-game winning streak, but they have played LaSalle, Fairfield, and Rider. We already know how bad Rider is. LaSalle's looking like one of the worst teams in the A-10, and I don't think Fairfield's any good. This is their first road game in about 2 weeks. Their previous road games, they have lost to Hofstra by 20, Penn by 12, Tarleton State by 14, and then South Dakota State by 9. So against every other mid-major they've played, they've lost by damn near double digits in basically all of them. They only score 65 points a game. They played a bottom 30 pace. They shoot at 38% from the field. This team is not good. Princeton, also not good. 3-9 on the year, but they have played a very tough schedule, and they're 3-0 at home. So we got that going for us. They score 70 a game. They shoot at 42% from the field. They are much better on the rebounding front. Merrimack is the second worst rebounding team in the entire country. They really haven't played that many bye games. I mean, look at who they played. Fairfield, Rider, LaSalle, Tarleton, Hofstra, South Dakota State, Penn. And you're the second worst rebounding team in the entire country. No thank you. Give me Princeton -2.5. If you cannot cover this number, the entire Ivy League is going right back on the ban list. All right, final game before we get to the almost bets. It is Charleston Southern on the road at USF. I'm going to take South Florida -15.5. This Charleston team, why did I say Charleston Southern? This is just Charleston. They're very banged up. Their 2 best players are out for the season. And the last time we saw USF, we saw them beat the brakes off of Utah State, winning by 13. They have the size advantage. They have the coach advantage. They have the home court advantage. It's all pointing to USF. So I will take South Florida minus the number. Charleston, 4-5 on the year. Like I said, future is not bright. They are missing their 2 best starters. They struggle to score just 73 points a game. And some of that is factoring in the early games they played with both of their starters. They shoot at 41% from the field. They only make 6 3-pointers a game. The 2 guys they're missing, it is Mr. Dean and Colby Dugan. There's a chance, you've heard of those guys before, they're the best 2 on the team, and they are both done. South Florida, 5-4 on the year. I'm really not sure how they've lost 4 games, though. Based on what I watched when they were playing the Mormons last week, they were good. They're solid. They score 90 a game. They played a top 10 pace in the country, make 9 3-pointers a game. I just don't see how Charleston's be able to keep up pace. Should be able to score a ton. Give me South Florida, 102, Charleston, 64. All right, then we got the almost bets. First one is a disgusting line. UT Martin is catching 9.5 at SIU. Why? What have the Salukis done to warrant laying 9.5 to anyone? So this line absolutely reeks. I have not checked the injury report. I would assume UT Martin has one of their European dudes out or multiple of their European dudes out. This number is large, and I don't know why. Next one, give me Colgate and the toothpaste plus 11.5 at the Bonnies. I am tired of this goddamn Bonnies team. Every single time I fade them, they cover. So maybe you should probably take the Bonnies. But I will take Colgate plus 11.5. Colgate's a good program. They've historically dominated. 11.5 is ridiculous. Then finally, Southern plus 2.5 at Texas State. Southern's not bad. I thought they played pretty well against Texas. They now stay in the state. They get a hotel, hopefully better than like a Motel 5 or something. Get a nice one, practice. Texas State's not good. Southern should be able to shoot them out the gym. Give me Southern plus 2.5. All right, that's going to do it for me in this video. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.